Even though he lived 3,000 years before Hippocrates, we actually know more about him than we know about Hippocrates. We knew who his parents were, we knew where he was born, where he was raised, what he did. He was, as Sir William Osler, this was Osler's institution right here. Osler practically founded this institution, did he not? Osler said of IMHOTEP, and by the way, Osler himself was, I've read some books by Osler. Osler was no joke. He was real. He was a real Renaissance physician, one of the last in this country anyway. And what does he say about IMHOTEP? The first figure of a physician to stand out clearly from the mists of antiquity, or as I like to call him, the first universal genius of whom we have any knowledge. He was prime minister under Joseph, so therefore a statesman. He was renowned as a philosopher and a purveyor of oral wisdom. He was an architect of genius, having designed and built the step pyramid of Saqqara, but above all, he was a divinely gifted physician. So great was his renown as a physician that by the 6th century BC, he became deified as a physician and worshipped by the Greeks, including Hippocrates, because Asclepios was identified with IMHOTEP. So when you worship Asclepios, you would worship IMHOTEP. So in the Hippocratic Oath, when the physician says, I swear by the god Apollo and I swear by the god IMHOTEP, I swear by Asclepios, he is in fact swearing by IMHOTEP. Those of you who have been to ancient Cam have seen the Saqqara complex designed and built by IMHOTEP. If he had done nothing else in the world but designed and built this temple complex, his fame would be indelible and assured. But beyond that, he was even more renowned as a physician. I'm sorry Dr. Watkins had to leave, because if he didn't already know it, he already might. It is in ancient Cam, 6,000 years ago, that the first systematic studies of cardiovascular circulation and cardiovascular physiology began. There is something called the Edwin Smith Surgical Papyrus, about 6,000 years old, which I call the founding document of scientific medicine, in which are described the heart as the center of the circulatory system, the major vessels going out of the heart and into the periphery and into the vital organs, the movement of blood out of the heart, the phenomenon of pulsation that occurs as a result of the movement of blood outside the heart, the measuring of the pulse itself, which Hippocrates, by the way, did not do, the understanding a relationship between the heart and the lung, heart and the kidneys, and even the heart and the liver. Even the physicians in the room know what I mean when I talk about passive congestion of the liver as a result of congestive heart failure. Ancient Egyptians described that. They described angina pectoris. They even described Stokes-Adams attacks. What is a Stokes-Adams attack? Some people can get heart dysrhythmias. Those dysrhythmias cause a slowing down of blood to the brain, and the person can pass out. Simply put, the ancient Egyptians describe that not only in the Edwin Smith Papyrus, but in the Ebers Papyrus. So that cardiovascular physiology and cardiovascular pathology and cardiovascular medicine begins in Africa 6,000 years ago. And I think Johns Hopkins is one of the world's centers of cardiovascular medicine, if I'm not mistaken. Don't even know. They owe a debt to ancient black people living on the Nile 6,000 years ago. Oh, by the way, I want to create, by the way, that is a modern drawing. You won't find that was a modern person writing about the ancient Egyptian medicine, and he was just showing you in pictorial terms what their descriptions of the cardiovascular system would have ramified into. This is a clepsydra or water clock. In smaller versions, there are those who think it would have been used to measure the pulse, because the ancient Egyptians very clearly did measure the pulse. What we said about cardiovascular physiology also applies to anatomy. It is in ancient Egypt, 6,000 years ago, that you had the first systematic studies of anatomy, the first anatomy textbooks, the first anatomy anatomical lexicon. This is the skull, the external skull, and all the topographical landmarks of the skull are demarcated in